y'all something real quick. You see that? That hole standing full of water, traps in there better than peat moss. Watch this. Look at that dry peat moss pop up. And that was plumb full of water. I'm going through and setting everything off today. I'm gonna have to regroup. Good morning, welcome to Bluegrass Trapping. Welcome to another one. I wanted to hop on here real quick this morning while I was out here checking traps and give a special thanks to all my faithful supporters who've been with me since I started this channel and watch my videos. And I also wanted to welcome all the new people that I've picked up in the last few weeks. It shows I picked up 120 new subscribers in the last 28 days, and I know a lot of them in the last couple of weeks. Had a couple people that are new to trapping reach out to me on my Facebook page, Bluegrass Trapping Facebook page, and said they've been watching my videos and said it's really helping them, and I really appreciate that. Appreciate y'all reaching out to me and letting me know. And I said it before and I'll say it again, I'm not a professional at trapping, but I do enjoy it, and I'm more than happy to share everything I know about catching coyotes or anything else for that matter. Always happy to share what my knowledge about it. Trapping can be a humbling experience sometimes, but it can be a lot of fun too. I had a guy reach out to me from Instagram as well, and he had a question, and we talked back and forth for a while, and he said he sent me a picture if he caught anything. He sent me a picture a day or two after he had his first catch, and it was a possum, but he was happy to have it, happy to have something. And then the very next day, I think it's the very next day or the day after, he sent me another picture and had a really nice bobcat. 23 pounds and something bobcat. It's a really awesome bobcat. And then, lo and behold, the very next day after that, he caught another nice bobcat. So I think it's safe to say he's probably hooked for life. He said it's like shooting his first deer. And I still got that feeling, get that feeling when I go out and see something bouncing in my trap. So that's awesome. That's really awesome, and I appreciate, honored that people reach out to me and ask me for advice, and I'm glad to help in any way I can. And I'm really glad that some of these new trappers are finding my channel helpful. That's absolutely awesome. That's what it's all about, helping each other out. And if you're new to trapping and you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to ask. I got the Facebook page, Bluegrass Trapping. I've got the Instagram. The links for those are both in my about page on my YouTube channel. And I also try to leave my email in every video I do, so you can reach out to me that way. If you have any questions about anything, I'll be glad to help if I can. And I just want to say thanks for sharing those pictures with me. That was absolutely awesome. I can't take no credit you catching the cats. That was all you, my friend. But I really do appreciate you sharing those pictures with me. That was absolutely awesome. Well, good luck to you, and them are some real nice cats. Congratulations. With that being said, let's take some traps. Got this old raccoon here. I put this set out yesterday for bobcats up against this log. Hey buddy, he's standing up looking at me. Old male raccoon right here. Picked him up this morning. Hind foot caught in that Duke 550. He's not harmed at all. There's no blood, no nothing. You can see right there. There's a guy that hunts down here and trains his coon dogs down here in this holler. So I'm gonna release this guy for him. He likes to run his dogs down here, and he asked if I didn't mind to release them. I don't have to, but I like to help people out if you hunt down here, and he'll pick them up. He'll pick enough of them up with his dogs. So I know they're nest robbers, but I'm gonna go ahead and release this guy. Go ahead and film the release for y'all real quick, and we'll move on down the line. There we go. There he is. Simple as that. Off he goes. I went down yonder and followed the creek. He wasn't harmed at all. So anyway, stay tuned guys. I got a couple more bobcat sets to check. I just put everything out yesterday. All that rain, snow we had, and then a bunch of rain on top of it, on top of the melting snow. most of my sets were underwater, so I tripped everything, let everything dry out for a couple days, and just come and set everything back yesterday, so I don't expect too much this morning. But stay tuned, I still got a couple more cat sets to check. Alright y'all, all I had on my line this morning is that raccoon. But I had a guy come up to me and he said he watched my video or something. He asked if I could put a set in from start to finish and show him how I do it, how I bet my trap and all that. So I'm gonna do this one for him real quick. Now this one's for you, Clint, and hopefully it can help. Let me show you where I'm at. So right here is where I'm at. It's a big field, and this is farmland here. The other property I trapped is back there behind those tree lines, the cattle farm, but they eat, grow beans and stuff in this. So where I'm at here in this field edge, and there's a woven wire fence that runs through there, and a draw runs up through there. I don't have permission on the other side of the fence. There's a hole under the fence, so there's critters and deer and everything use this trail coming out in the field. So that's where I'm at. It's this location. It goes up to a corner. I'm gonna put a couple more up there in the corner. But these trails like this through a woven wire fence make an excellent spot. So I'm gonna try to position this camera where you can see the trap bed, and not as much me, but what I'm doing. So right here what I have is a little clump of grass. There's not many big clumps out here, but I like to find a little clump of grass or something that I can use for backing. I know the first time I catch something here, that's going to be destroyed, but I'll use the trash after that for backing. Anyway, so what I normally do first, I'll dig my dirt hole. Now I try to keep it simple. I try not to get too complicated with it. You can stretch yourself out, and whatever you think the coyote's going to do, sometimes he'll do the opposite. I'll dig a hole. Sometimes I go straight down, sometimes I go at almost straight in. If you go almost straight in, I have to really get down to see in it. Sometimes I go at an angle about 45 degrees, about what this is. The ground's pretty flat here, so I want to make it steep enough where we'll have to get close to it to look in it. To see what's down in that hole. So I dig the hole most of the time 8 to 10 inches. This depends on the ground too. This is real nice digging right here. Let's clear out a little spot. I don't never measure. Some people go back 7.5 inches, 6 inches. I just kind of guess at it. Sometimes you'll see it's offset just a little bit to the right or left, but most of the time if I offset it, it'll be to the right. And a lot of times it's offset just slightly to the right. I try to make that trap bed tight. Small but deep. I like digging real good and deep. I'll show you why in a minute. There ain't gonna be rocks in there. Just kind of doing this for my levers. That laying around here somewhere. Stakes I'm using are super stakes. There's a lot of different kind of earth anchors you can use. I guess the earth anchor, not a stake. But you drop it down in there. When you pull up on it, it turns sideways and it'll hold. I like super stakes. You can get wolf fang anchors. There's a lot of really good ones out there. I prefer a chain versus a cable because it lays down flatter, because all this is going to have to lay in that hole underneath the trap. Depends on how soft the ground is and how far I drop this down. You just want a good hold, and I'll take it and set the hook basically. There it is. I'll take and set my trap. I'm using polyfill instead of a pan cover. You can put a pan cover over it to keep dirt. You don't want no dirt to get underneath the pan and prevent it from going off. This year I'm using polyfill. You can pull that loose lever up like that so you don't get caught. Stuff that underneath the pan, and that's going to keep my peat moss or dirt from getting underneath there as much. And it's got night latch. Pull it down till you feel it click. These are the Duke 550 Pro. I really like these traps. These are my go-to traps. And dirt hole set's my go-to set. The reason I like the dirt hole because it seems to work, and I like to try to keep it simple, and if something's working, not broke, don't fix it. I use different variations of it. Like I say, sometimes my trap's back this far, sometimes back further. Depends on what that hole looks like and where I think that cow's going to come to look in it. You know, I like it fitting tight where my trap really don't fit in there when I first get it. Because this right here is the most important part to catching anything, is having that trap bedded solid. They step here, they step here, step here, step here. They might not come in and step on your pan right away. If they step anywhere else, you don't want it moving. If that moves, you're gonna back out or dig it up. Sometimes I even take my hammer and tighten it up around it. But I like making my trap bed small. Sometimes you'll see on my remakes, the trap bed's a lot bigger, but that's because it's all wallered out. There, now that's solid. Grab me a handful of sifted peat moss. I already pre-sifted this stuff. Use dry peat moss. It's good if you can put it in the attic somewhere during the summer and get it really dry. I ran out, so I had to buy another bale. You can get this at Lowe's or wherever. I get mine at Lowe's. And that'll keep it dry around your trap. Now you can use just peat moss, cover it up, pack it in real good. I've caught them with just peat moss several times, especially in the snow and rough weather. But I like to blend them in with dirt. This right here, some waxed dirt that I got out of an old barn. I mean, not waxed, this is not waxed dirt. It's just dry dirt, fairly dry. I got out of an old barn somewhere where the rain don't hit. I want it dry because this works a lot better if it's dry, but really, you pack it. I like to pack it down pretty solid. When they step on this spot, it don't feel real spongy. Because if it feels real spongy, they'll dig it up. Raccoons will dig it up. Fox will definitely dig it up. Which we don't really have no fox, so I hadn't seen any. So there it is. I like it. Preferably my trap is a little bit lower than the ground. So when they come up here, when they step on my trap bed, they're pretty much committed to that step. This one's almost flat. Technically, I would like it lower, but this will still catch. And brush it out. You can use a broom, whatever. Brush it out. And I'll take a little bit of dirt, just throw it out here in front of it in the area. Kind of make it look like a critter's been digging. I don't want it just that. I don't like just the trap bed having dirt. Alright, that's the set right there. That's in, it's done, other than the bait and lure. So I got these gloves underneath the other ones. So I don't use the same gloves, or I don't use the same gloves to handle traps, to handle bait and lure, because you'll get them smelling like bait and lure, and they'll dig that trap up if that trap smells like bait. I'll take a little clunk of sheep's wool and And on this one I'm putting Trapper Che all predator bait. Get that online. Keep me a stick in here. Get a little bait out. Don't take a lot. Put it on that sheep's wool, or you can throw it in there and put sheep's wool on top. I like to wipe my stick with sheep's wool. And down she goes in the hole. The only way they can get to that is if they work this set. Technically, higher backing would be good to make sure they don't work it from the back. Most time it don't take much though. I used that, and I'm gonna, on this one, I'm gonna use a little bobcat gland. Right now, this time of year, use gland lures, coyote glands, because they're breeding season. And it's a good chance, and put 2 sets in, a good chance they're running in pairs. So I'm using bobcat on this one because the farmer said he'd been seeing a bobcat down here, so maybe I'll get lucky and catch it. I used that, and I'm gonna put a little bit of voodoo from Fox Hollow baits and lures. Just grab me a little stick. I'm gonna smear that on the edge of the hole, the back of the hole. I'm gonna use another lure if I can find it. Mascara Dunlap lures. I use several different ones, but I like to give them different smells, get them stepping back and forth. I put that on that side of the hole, put this on this side. That way it's not just one smell, and it might keep them at the set long enough to step on that trap. That's it, it's a done set. I use this to kneel on, anything work, just to kind of prevent some of the scent from getting there. But in all reality, they're gonna know. Now I'm gonna throw this dirt, I'm gonna take it and throw it back yonder. They're gonna know you were here, but I like to minimize it to an extent. So that right there, my friends, ought to catch a coyote, bobcat, whatever comes along. I appreciate you watching. I hope it helps.